Coach Matt Rhule from Temple University on the line. The Owls are 0-6 overall, 0-3 in the American Athletic Conference. Temple last played on Friday night at Cincinnati. Cincinnati won the game 38-20. Temple back in action this Saturday against Army. That will be a 1 p.m. start from Lincoln Financial Field and will be on ESPN 3. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call. If you could take a minute to tie up the game at Cincinnati on Friday, and then tell us what you're looking forward to back in Philadelphia against Army on Saturday, please.
Obviously, we got off to a good start last week against Cincinnati. I thought PJ, for his first start, came out. The moment wasn't too big for him. Was proud of his effort and preparation. I thought Kenny Harper and Zaire Williams were bright spots for us. And then just in the second half, we weren't able to sustain that momentum, neither offensively or defensively. And so as we can see that we're making some progress, we still haven't put it all together yet in the game. So if we look ahead to Army, a team that's leading the nation in rushing, a team that lost to Temple last year by a large score, which I know that they'll come back and want to avenge. We have a lot of work cut out for us to stop their offense and to find a way to run the football against an outstanding defense. So with that said, we're moving forward. PJ's development is continuing to accelerate, and he's working really hard. And we think that he has a really bright future for us as our quarterback.
Take questions for Coach Matt Rhule, please. Hit *1 on your telephone to join the queue, and then the operator will introduce you.
And we'll go to John DeCarlo with OwlScoop.com.
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Hey, John, what's going on?
Not much. Hey, just after looking at the film, how would you, just in detail, how would you evaluate, some of the things that PJ did well for his first start and what he still needs to improve upon?
I thought he did a nice job of hanging in there under pressure. He was under duress for most of the second half. He made some big throws, 4th and 5 on his own 35, whatever it was, on 25. Hit Ryan Alderman on a seam route. So I thought he hung in there and showed toughness. The negatives are, he turned the ball over twice. And one, we're going in to score, and he fumbled the football instead of securing it. The second one, our own 1 yard line, Robbie Anderson runs right by their corner. We have a chance for a 99-yard touchdown, and he just underthrew it, and those are things that he saw. And the thing that I appreciate about PJ is the fact that he owns those things and came right back and continued to compete. But those were the positives, and they're still, we've got to just prevent the turnovers, especially this week versus this offense.
What did they do schematically, Matt? Any adjustments in the second half, or just to kind of put the clamps on things, or did they just kind of play the same way in the second half and they just executed better?
No, they came out and played man-to-man defense, and they blitzed one linebacker and had the other linebacker, take away the defensive end. So what they did was, take away the running backs. What they basically did was they tried to make PJ stay in the pocket and, not allow him to get out on the perimeter where he's most dangerous. So, PJ still made some throws. A couple of balls were, all fingertips that could be touchdowns, and, hopefully eventually will be. But yeah, they played man. It's been kind of a recurring theme as we continue to develop. We have to have the ability on the outside to defeat man-to-man coverage.
How did you guys do, just injury-wise, health-wise? Any relatively unscathed come out of the game, or any injury updates?
Well, the biggest blow for us, which maybe can't be seen in the statistics, but Wanemi Amuso, who's our starting tight end, was lost for the year, tore his knee on the touchdown, actually. And, he's played really, really, really well. He's blocked, and as a result, Chris Coyer had to go over kind of from his role of, where we wanted him maybe to touch the ball more. Chris was unselfish, went over and blocked more. But, so losing Wanemi will hurt. And then we had just a couple other, things that are going to bother us. Dvorak probably will be out this week, hurt his toe. And Jamie Gilmore, who showed some flashes out there, hurt his toe, wasn't able to continue. So 2 guys that might be out for this week, and then Wanemi probably is out for the year, and then Levi Brown's been battling a hamstring, so I don't know if he'll be able to play this week.
When you talk about playing Army, I know schematically they tend to do a lot of the same thing. Is there anything? You probably get this question every year. Anything that helps with the familiarity of this program, having played them so many times before, or does it just get equally challenging every year?
I would say it's equally challenging. I mean, the good thing is there's lots of tape, as you go back and look at, you've got a lot of history with them. Obviously, things have changed in terms of what we do and what they do. Last year Montel had a monster game. Because really, if you go back and look at that game, Army's offense did do a pretty nice job. I think they scored, 32, 39 points, something like that. So, that's a tough offense to stop and hang in there with. So, you have to find a way to score points and get the lead and try to get them out of what they do and make them throw the ball a little bit more. Which they're pretty resolute. They're going to stay in what they do until they absolutely have to not do it.
What is the approach like with this particular defense this year? I know you guys have had your struggles against the past. How do you approach? I guess do you still have to be wary of the fact that they could surprise you and try to throw deep ball on you, even though they run it so much? What's it like approaching Army with this defense that you have this year?
Well, I mean, you just have to. At the end of the day, this is about the discipline of defending the option. As you go back and look 4 years back, you see Muhammad making a lot of plays up front. You see. You go back and look 3 years back where we had a good game against them at home. You see Tahir Whitehead kind of all over the field. Adrian played a heck of a game. Last year, you see Vaughn Caraway making some plays. So what's going to have to happen is you're going to have some guys step up this year that, while they've been on the team, maybe they haven't really played against them. And so you need to have your free safety make plays. Your down guys are going to have to go make plays and control the line of scrimmage. So it just comes down to discipline. And then, as always, you can't give up the big shot when they surprise you with a play-action pass.
Thanks, Matt.
Forward.
And we'll go next to Tom Shanahan with GoBlackKnights.com.
Hi, Coach. With Terry Baggett running for 304 yards, usually Army's has their yardage spread out among their backs more. Do you have to worry about your players being too focused on Baggett? And then I guess the other question would be, when you look at the film, did you see breakdowns as being maybe the reason for Eastern Michigan giving up so many yards to one player?
Well, I just think that as you study the Army offense, the coaches are really masters of what they do. If you line up one way, it's not going to take them very long to get to the answer. So, while one game it might be one running back or one position that makes the plays, might be the quarterback. At the end of the day, when you line up, you're going to encounter certain problems, and the coaches really have the answers to the test. So you have to prepare for it. Everyone has to do their job, and hope that you can stay on your feet versus the cut blocks, and maybe knock a ball out or two, which wasn't able to happen last week. So, but I think it just comes down to the fact that you have to recognize that their coaches know this offense inside and out, know where to go for certain defenses.
Okay. And then the other thing, it's kind of a unique situation that Army plays its biggest game of the year in that stadium down there. Is that a factor at all as far as home field advantage? It's not as great as it might be normally for you?
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever thought about that. My time here previously, we played them twice at home, and we're able to defeat them at home. I know obviously they have a lot of history coming down here and playing Navy, but I think for us, once you get on the field, it's about who can defend the cut block and play the option, and whether or not we can find a way to run the ball at all.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure, thank you.
And we'll go next to Nick Menta with Comcast Sportsnet Philadelphia.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt. How are you?
Good, Nick. How are you doing?
Good. What would it mean just to be able not only to get a win, but to get one at home? This is a program that hasn't won one since its first conference game last year at the Link. What would it mean just as a boost to the conference, not only get one, but to do it at home?
Yeah, I think obviously our players throughout this 6-game season so far have worked hard to continue to develop and grow, and you'd like to see some fruit for your labor, and it would be great to do it in front of the people that support us, our family and friends, and that's why at the end of last game, we battled Louisville tough, and the people that stayed to the end, I made our players go out and thank them because we know the work that we're putting in, and we obviously want to win as a result, but we also want to share that win with the people that believe in us and care about us and come support us.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
Sure, buddy.
And we have no more questions at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. forward to talking to you again next Monday, and that is Temple against Army, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN3.